This episode of Mob Rules brought to you by Kyle. Kyle, supplier of alcohol for Mob Rules since 2018. Kyle, also a provider of fine fashion accessories, such as pocket watches.
A chronology master, if you will.
Chronology master, I love that. Hey, welcome to Mob Rules. I am John, joined once again by
Dave
and Danny.
And we are back to talk about stuff and things and all the other kind of stuff like that. But you know, Dave, it was so popular when we did it early last time. Let's play some Dave games.
We're going to start off the show with Dave games?
Yeah.
All right.
We want to start off on a high note, dude.
And this is a high note right here.
So not.
High O.
Dave games. This is a 40K podcast. I just want to make that clear at this point here.
I have literally got a 40K, or I should say 40K / Games Workshop themed Dave game.
Oh.
You do.
I do. It's going to require all of your knowledge about all things unrelated to actual play.
Oh, shit.
It's a real good thing I had all the soundboard lined up this week. Huh?
Yeah, it is.
John said all the time in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Are you really wanting to go now?
Yeah, we're going.
All right.
I played the music, Dave. It's like a Pavlovian effect. Listeners expect the Dave games.
Every time I walk into your house, you play the music. That's not fair.
Well, it's like your intro song, dude.
I'm like, hey, come in. Oh, it's Dave. And then it just starts. And I'm like, and then it's like, doo doo, boop, 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 boop. And I'm just like, what's happening?
Hey, that's copyright.
Yeah, I'm 1/3 of the copyright. I could use it.
Actually, we are no thirds of that copyright whatsoever.
There's a zero.
There's a zero copyright.
1/3 of 0%. Today,
Dave Games brought to you by Attribution.
Yeah. Dave Games brought to you by, is it Attribution or is it Incomtech? Who do we stay
It can be both.
Right.
Adjudication?
Brought to you by Incomtech.
Will soon be brought to us by Adjudication by Incomtech.
All right. So today we are going to play 40K Jeopardy. I don't think that was required.
No.
All right.
Well.
Here's the scoreboards.
All right.
Oh, man. We have
front of you?
visual
Do we have
aids.
each one of us? Do we have
This
a
game will be
scoreboard?
played exactly like Jeopardy.
Okay.
So you pick your category and then you
Now,
choose
seeing
instead of
as-
100, 200, 300 to just have numbers.
I like that you made sure that you had the penis mightier on here as a category. That's really important.
Way to spoil it.
Well, I want to
was
say...
really that was my joke.
Oh, sorry. That was like
That's
your
it.
one joke.
I'll play which... John, remember what you said earlier about what episode Dave quits on? It's this one.
Maybe, Dave, if you want to explain, seeing as last week we did reach the heights of the 97th best hobby podcast in Australia. Oh, we're getting up there, boys.
Wait, what's
Crikey.
that? What's that converted to? That's like third best in America, right?
I don't know. Exchanger is pretty crappy right now.
Yeah, that's pretty bad, especially for Games Workshop.
It's pretty inflated with all the taxes.
All right.
But maybe explain what Jeopardy is.
So this is 40K Jeopardy. What you will do is I'm going to read off the categories to our listeners. You will pick a category when I declare you the person that goes first. You will choose, instead of having 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, whatever the rounds are there for that, you have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can let me know which one you want. I have all of the answers down, or all of the answers down here.
Look at the answers.
Yeah, that's fair. You won't be able to read it. It's in Klingon. So
It's in an ancient dialect
so
of Dave.
In this case, you would say category X. I'll take one, and then I'll read you the answer, and you must give then whoever rings in first with the whatever sound they just choose to make. Since I'm looking at you, I can actually tell who's going to ring in.
I'm going to click my pen.
You must then also give your answer, or your answer in the form of a question, same as Jeopardy.
All right.
All right. So for our listeners at home, I'm your host, Dave, and I'm joined by Danny. Danny is a 40K master who hails from the state of Alaska.
God, master.
Oh, man.
He recently took 23rd at a super major. However, prior to that,
spoilers.
He took
22nd loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's most accurate, actually.
Danny, it says here that you have a bulldog named Fred. Why don't you tell us a little about
We
Fred?
had to hand in sheets.
Fred likes no walks. He likes to sleep, and he likes treats. He's a good boy.
Awesome. He sounds like a great boy.
Yes.
Like a great boy. The other competitor today is
God
John.
damn it.
John hails from Canada.
False.
He's married to a woman way out of his league and has a lovely, lovely son with only one tooth. John, tell us about that tooth.
It really hurts because he's teething and he likes to bite my finger now.
Have you thought about maybe stopping breastfeeding?
I said finger.
All right, let's go ahead and get into it first. Danny, as the newest member of the podcast, you get to choose first. The categories on the board today are Steve's Livingston, His Best Life, A Long Strange Mob Road, The Pen is Mightier, and ITC, UTC, We All TC for Vegas.
I don't want a UTC in Vegas.
That doesn't stay in Vegas.
All right, Danny.
That's a UTI.
Well, you should make sure you stay out of
sorry.
the pancake stripper house then. All right.
That's my favorite one, though.
Syrup these nuts.
You're first. What'll you choose?
All right. I'm going to take the Penis Mightier for 3.
All right. The Black Library was founded in 1997 to publish this bi-monthly short story magazine.
What is Inferno?
I'm sorry. You must ring in. Danny.
You have to bring in closer to the microphone. There you go.
Is that loud enough?
That's good. Yeah.
All right. Hold on. Let me do it one more time.
Okay.
We
Oh,
got
shit.
it?
I could have rung in.
Yeah, you could have. Why didn't you steal that? Danny.
What is Inferno?
That is correct.
It was Inferno. That was a really great magazine as well.
It was. It was pretty good.
I like the comics and stuff. Cal Jericho came from that, didn't
That's
he?
right.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Well, the comics. Yeah.
Danny, since you won the last question, you get to choose again. Pick the next category.
I'm going to pick ITC, UTC, We All TC for Vegas for 2.
All right. The answer is the only cities to have the best fried chicken in the world restaurants in them are Las Vegas and Danny.
What is New York?
Oh, that is correct, Danny.
I mean, again, 40K podcast.
I'm sorry, sir. If you're not...
Just saying.
If you're not Blue Ribbon Chicken, you're shit.
I don't feel that's their official
sponsored.
slogan.
No, actually it is. It's on the signs, I swear. It's very small print, though.
Danny, you
All
may
right.
pick again.
I guess. All right. I don't get this joke, but Steve's Livingstone is best life.
Because I think it's
1.
because he's living his best life.
All right.
And Steve
Who's
Livingston.
Who's Steve
One of
Livingston?
the founders of GW.
Steve Jackson, Ian Livingston are two of the 3 founders.
Yeah,
of
okay.
GW.
I know Steve Jackson and I know Ian Livingston, but I don't know who Steve Livingston
What he
is.
did was he took 2 names and put it in a joke, which
Boy.
he wrapped in a pun.
I really wish
Which
that
lost its
this sort of
funniness along the
exposition
way.
could have waited till after Dave games so that it could have, not interrupted it. All right, Danny has delayed long enough. John, I'm going to go over to you and let you pick a category.
Oh shit, okay. Wait, you chose? Okay, then.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Okay, cool,
You can
yeah.
pick whatever you want.
I'll
dude.
take Steve Livingstone's His Best Life for 1.
This game is considered the 3rd flagship game for Games Workshop behind Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40K.
Wait, clarification, in what year?
Currently.
Currently? Oh, what is Shadespire?
I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
What is Kill Team?
You don't get to answer twice.
I mean, fuck you, I just did.
Danny?
So what is Blood Bowl? Because Dave, you're obsessed with it.
No, also incorrect.
Dang.
What
all
is Kill Team?
So the end.
Oh.
So having
Is it,
not
though?
guessed it at all,
I wouldn't say no.
I would thought it was Shadespire.
I think they're pushing Shadespire enough to.
they really are. It's not. That's still considered one of their specialist games. However, the Battle for Middle Earth strategy game.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that was a game.
game.
Right. I said considered. It says considered the third flagship line.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't know why I didn't get that. That's pretty
All
cool.
right, nobody got the answer. John, you're still on the board. Go ahead.
ITC, UTI, we all TC for Vegas for 4.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Well, this one is perfect. In the ITC, blank cannot be taken against swarms.
Yes.
John.
What is Gangbusters?
John, that is correct.
Yes.
That is correct.
Oh,
John.
Randall, that joke will never die.
No, it will not.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
I'm going to go a long, strange mob road for 3.
Ooh.
This was the topic of episode 60, which
Oh,
featured
fuck.
Dave for the first time. Danny.
What is wife swapping?
Judges?
Oh, judges.
No, Danny, I'm sorry.
Okay,
While that was
sorry,
briefly
thank
mentioned
you.
during the course of the
I'm
episode,
sure it was.
at the time,
Briefly.
Ted didn't have a wife, so it wasn't fair.
Briefly suggested.
I didn't know that. You've been on the show this long?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Well,
Yeah.
congrats, man.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, just give me a sec.
All right.
Get off the
So,
computer.
That's the end of that.
What is The Beast Arises?
No, unfortunately, Dave was after The Beast Arises. Dave joined
did
for
the
the
first
first
Beast
time
Arises
during the
one.
Shadow Sword book review.
Oh, that's right. It was Shadow
That was
Sword.
actually a good book.
Yeah, it was a good
a
book. I
great
enjoyed that
book.
one. Baneblade was also good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
surprisingly.
amazingly good.
Books about big tanks. Pretty
All
cool.
right,
I
so
like big tanks.
John, you're still on the board.
A long, strange mob road for 4.
Ooh.
Because we're doing so good with
All
this.
right. All right. Blank is the longest running character created during the podcast's 4-year run.
Oh, who is Jeff the Custode?
Jeff the Custode is correct, John.
Yeah, longest running and only. Man, I'm rocking up these 4s like all over the place.
Yeah,
you
you're
are.
doing good, man.
All right.
Like your mom, will take the penis mightier for 4.
That's the pen is mightier, you sons of bitches. For number 4. All right. This man brought the resurgence of 30K with his drive and passion for the project, including 54 Horus Heresy novels currently.
Oh, this is very subjective.
Danny,
Who is what is Alan Bly? Who is Alan Bly?
who is Alan Blythe? And yes, that is correct.
Did he write 54 Horus Heresy?
No, but his drive in creation
That's
of it
fair,
actually led them to do it.
I think he's
He
their
directed it as
resource.
I think he was their like main resource for
Yeah.
that stuff there. That's fair. Okay. That's fine. I'll let you have that one, Danny.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
You're very generous.
I am. I'm a generous god.
Danny, you have stolen. It is your choice.
Oh,
on the category
okay.
here.
All right. So we'll do Steve's Livingston, His Best Life for 4.
Why?
Just get this done.
Let's get this one. Okay. We're going to do an agreement. So we're just going to do that
We're just
one.
going to
for
go
All right.
the rest
Well,
of
we
them.
don't allow colluding between contestants.
Oh, we're not colluding. We're fucking cheating.
40 Jeopardy. All right.
40 Jeopardy.
Livingston, Peak, and Jackson formed Games Workshop in 1975, originally to produce wooden boards for games like blank. Danny.
What is Dungeons and Dragons?
Sorry, that is incorrect, Danny. John.
Wait. Again, clarification, because the article I read is they were originally founded to import Dungeons and Dragons from the US into
Yeah.
the UK.
That is incorrect.
No, Oof.
I don't know. I want to see your
I
sources.
want to see your sources on that.
Well, we can go to the sources afterwards. They originally made, with Peak, they originally made wooden game boards for games like Backgammon and Mancala.
Oh, so when they weren't Games Workshop?
They actually were called Games Workshop then.
Oh, maybe because they had like a workshop that they built these wooden
Peak
game
left
boards.
when they wanted to start importing, which is when it became just Livingston and Jackson.
And they're living stone their best life.
All right. Danny, since you screwed that one up,
Thanks.
3.
All right. Steve Livingston, His Best Life for 3.
All right. An early promotional magazine superseded in June 1977, partially to advertise the opening of Games Workshop's...
What is Playboy?
Ooh, I'm sorry, John, that is incorrect.
What is White Dwarf?
No, White Dwarf was the name of the current magazine. Actually, the original magazine
What is Hustler?
was known as The Owl and Weasel.
What? I don't watch bestiality.
Dude, that sounds...
You don't gotta lie. You don't have to lie to the host of 40K Jeopardy, John. All right, that's fair.
Can't you just accept who you are? Come out of the barnyard, John.
All right, Danny.
I don't want to. All the animals are here.
Still
all
on
right,
you,
we're
sir.
going to go Steve Livingstone's His Best Life for 2.
This game was previewed at Games Day 1983 and produced in 1985 by Games Workshop in various
changed the soundboard.
editions till 2008. Danny.
I buzzed in with the Best Coast Pairings ad.
What is Warhammer Fantasy Battle?
No, that is incorrect.
What is Rogue Trader?
No, that is also incorrect. The game in question actually was Talisman. It was a game that they fell in love with and decided they wanted to produce.
Okay, well, that category's gone.
I'm sorry I used Games Workshop history to...
Well, this is as a
to
40
category.
To confuse us?
I thought maybe you might know it.
No.
So, again, Games Workshop history on a 40K podcast. We talked about Lord of the Rings, backgammon boards.
Games Workshop is part...
They make... Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, to
Talisman.
defend Dave.
which all of us own but never play.
Save it until afterwards,
I've played
Danny.
it. It takes forever. All right.
Save it till
A
later.
long, strange mob road for 1.
Episode 5 of the
Jesus
podcast
Christ.
brought Danny on as a guest host to discuss this now defunct Alaskan tournament. John.
Oh, what is Alaska Battle Brothers?
That is correct, John.
Yes. Oh, man.
I won that tournament.
Did win that tournament. I remember because Ted and I interviewed you and
At the event.
at the event at this top room that kind of looked over the event, and they kept bringing chairs in and kind of making noise and giving chairs. And then one of the local guys came to kick us out. I was like, "You guys got to move. You guys got to move."
What's that? We need to take a quick break? All right, here for a quick commercial break. Just remember, Blue Ribbon Chicken supplies every bit of chicken that you could possibly need when you're playing 40K Jeopardy.
It's chicken fucking good.
Yes, it is.
It's a
All
bestiality
right, back to
callback.
John.
Yeah, I
John,
see
you
what-
have stolen.
A long, strange mob road for 2.
This person was originally planned as the 4th chair of the show, but dropped. I
had to-
Danny
I
came
didn't
in
click on
first.
that. Did I really?
I
Oops.
heard a click. John.
Just give it to John.
Who is? Do we have to use his real name or the name he wanted to be known as?
I'll give you a bonus point if you can do both.
So it's Who is Joe? It was one of our local players, but he wanted to be known as a different name because he was trying to get a professional job. So we decided to call him Dick, but spent the first episode going back and forth between Dick and Joe interchangeably to make it seem like there was 5 hosts. it was pretty good.
That is correct, actually. He dropped due to the mature nature of the podcast.
You know, he dropped because he had to drive an hour and a half to get there and back, and he had a little beater car.
All right, John.
The penis tighter for 2.
I think you mean pen is mightier.
It's not what your mom means. It's what she sounds like.
I didn't even read the question. You
A
got an
little
answer
kid?
for it already, John?
Oh, you did just buzz in, you
Just
idiot.
buzz in. Whatever. What is your mom's insatiable craving for
I'm
dick?
sorry. That's as close. Wow. Okay, so the irony is, as close as that was to the correct answer, I'm going to have to let Danny listen to the whole thing first and then make a decision. Just remember what you said for a second.
Okay.
Robbie
It was,
hold on.
What I said was that your mom has an insatiable craving for dick.
That's it, exactly. Robbie McDivitt weaves a tale of bloody close combat in this Space Sharks versus Night Lords novel. Oh, really? I thought for sure this is one you would know, Danny.
What is the Outer Dark? I don't remember what the name of the book is.
Isn't it like Red Tide?
The Red Tide. That is correct.
I didn't remember what the name was.
I mean,
I
he's
read
trying to
it.
make a joke. Like, I was like, wait, does Robbie McNiven fuck your mom? Is that
Everybody
why?
knows.
I was
No,
like, it
it's
was pretty
because
close. Red
of-
Tide period.
Right.
But
I think it
his
was a
mom
period
is
joke.
so old.
Or it was a rough sex joke.
Yeah.
Could be either.
Yeah, who knows?
All right. Nobody got that one. So, all right. With 3 questions left here. John, you're still on the board. Make your selection.
Shit. Okay. Penis fighter.
That's a great video game.
It is. It's the opposite of what your mom is.
John's wife's nickname.
For one.
All right.
She's a penis pacifist. Is that what you're saying?
While known for writing the Path of the Eldar series, author Danny?
Oh shit! I thought it was
I was
gonna
about to
be-
do the same thing. Just make a joke
what
about
is
his
Dark
mom.
Angels? I don't know. I'm gonna guess.
That is incorrect.
All right.
Author Gav Thorpe is best known for this popular audio cameo about a certain item.
Okay, you can't lead him with the answer.
Oh, that would be
John?
his advert he made for Marlboros about tea, drinking Great British tea. Though the audio in it is very low.
Oh,
John,
dude,
I'm
seriously?
so sorry,
We
John.
listen to that every other week. Forever.
John, I'm so sorry. Judges?
Biscuits.
Oh, shit, it is.
Biscuits. It's about biscuits. All right, so nobody gets that one.
I've been watching a lot of the Spiffing Brit on YouTube this week. It's all tea-based.
Just so we're clear, John, the viewers at home listening to this are currently screaming at their radio.
That sentence really
And
hurt
Gav-
my head. The
Gav-
viewers listening.
I know it did as soon as I said it. Gav Thorpe is currently at home. It was biscuits. All right.
Shaking his fist into
there,
the heavens.
I'm showing the score currently at Danny with 3, John at 3.1 because of his bonus point. With 2 answers to go.
It's called a handicap.
I'm sorry, 4 answers to go, right?
We have
Wait.
two.
Oh, no.
4, 8, 10. I have 11.
2 answers to go.
I don't know because
A long
you
string
lose
mob
points
road
for.
for-
Oh, you
No, you
lose
don't.
points?
You don't lose points.
Oh, we just
Let's-
trying to,
you know what?
we're trying
Let's-
to build tension.
Dave knows the score. He has all the answers.
Okay, we should stop trying to control things from afar when we're not involved.
I know.
Yep, that's true. I'm sorry. So we have ITC, UTC, we all TC for Vegas 1 and 3, and we have a long strange mob road number 3 left. John, what is your choice?
What is that mob? What is that? Do that one, John,
maybe
because I'm pretty sure we did.
Oh no,
that
I did
one.
that one already. Right?
Yeah, okay.
thought I
I'll
only
do
had
that
2
one
left.
because I'll win.
No, you won't.
Nice.
All right, so those are
You did it.
We have the 2 Vegas ones left.
2
so
Vegas. So you have Vegas 1 or Vegas 3?
ICUP, UTI, we all TP for
ICUP.
Vegas for 3.
Bally's Resort and Casino was formerly known as blank until 1986. Danny was in first.
Hooters Incorporated.
Ooh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect.
Damn it.
John,
Playboy Bunny Ranch.
that is correct.
That is not correct at all.
You are correct. It is not. The MGM Grand.
Oh,
All right, and the final
Damn it,
answer
really?
is-
damn it, Danny. Our knowledge about
But
hotels
the
and
MGM Grand is down the way.
they
rebuilt
moved.
it. Yeah, they moved it. To
They
a
have the
bigger location.
technology.
Right.
Whatever.
All
I don't
right.
believe you.
Final question for 1 point.
Final question. Winner take all here. The ITC season finishes off in Vegas at LVO every year. This is the blank.
Weird rule changes 2 weeks after the season starts for arbitrary reasons.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect, John.
Yeah, it's really fucking wrong,
you
isn't
didn't even
it?
answer that in the form of a question.
Right.
It is really fucking wrong, isn't
Sorry.
it?
I'm going to need you to form your answer in the form of a question, please.
What is strange, unnecessary rule changes 2 weeks into a season, grandfathering other people in? So you have to take fucking 1,000 Suns with your quote unquote death guard. Otherwise, you're not going to do shit for placing.
No, I'm sorry, that is incorrect.
Are you sure?
I'll finish the answer for you, Danny.
Oh, please
This
tell me
is
what
the
answer is.
blank. This is the blank season of the ITC.
Oh. I'm going to have to guess. So, what is the 6th season?
Sixth season would be correct, Danny.
Oh man, why did you hold 6 fingers up right then?
I don't think I did.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why did you hold 5 fingers and a thumb up then?
I did not hold any of those up. All right, so Looking over our board here, I have John with 3.1 and Danny with 4. It looks like today's edition of 40K Jeopardy goes to Danny.
Oh man, congrats!
Yet
man.
again,
Thanks.
Danny stomps John at something else. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and as always, remember, if it's not finger licking, it's not blue ribbon chicken. Have a great day.
I'm gonna tell your mom that. No, we have to let this whole thing play.
I mean,
It's the rules.
Is the toilet flush part of it?
It is.
I thought that was
So
an
the
extra
trombone.
thing you were doing.
No, I added that
will.
in there. That was pretty good.
yeah.
All right, after all that excitement, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back talking about what me and Dave have been up to,
Yeah,
which
'cause
is
we don't care about Danny.
which is much more exciting than whatever shit Danny's been doing.
Yep.
If you're a true follower of chaos, enjoy killing town scum, fry devilfish for breakfast, drink the blood of fire warriors, collect the bones of crude fodder, desecrate the cockpits of mantas with demonic sigils, sing songs of chaotic praise and joy, when berserkers chain axe overwatching broadsides, helldrake bellflame shield drones into flying discs of spinning fire, and just all around bask in the path to glory, then the Shrine of Chaos podcast is a must-listen for you. I'm Mini Wargamer Dave from MiniWargaming.com, and I invite you to be a champion of chaos. Listen to the Shrine of Chaos podcast wherever podcasts are downloadable. Thank you, Mob Rules, for allowing this message from the Eye of Terror.
And we're back and with some exciting stuff. I think I'll start with what I've been up to.
I would appreciate that.
because Dave, you've actually done more because I've been playing other games and doing other things. But this week, I kind of went insane trying to figure out what I was going to take to a tournament that's going to be in 6 months after a massive FAQ and an entire model line release.
Are
Or
you going
5.
to Adepticon?
No, like LVO.
Oh, you only got 3 months then.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, still, I start going insane. I'll be like, okay, what am I taking? What am I taking? What am I taking? And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to live my best life. I'm going to Livingstone my best life.
I'm so glad we did that first so you could use that.
Thank you.
'Cause,
I'm very
man,
happy
it would
you
have
did
been
it too.
really weird later on if
It
you
would
then
be a
played it and
long,
kinda-
strange mob road.
It would.
if we had done that later on. So yeah, I just started painting random chaos shit that I liked. So I started painting some obliterators. I painted up a Lord Discordant. I really hope obliterators get cheaper because man, those models are amazing.
They're really cool.
And then
and they double as Centurions, I hear.
I mean, yeah, and they have exactly the same size as Abaddon, who I picked up too. And I was talking to Danny about it earlier because before I built him, Danny was like, "Man, that is such a satisfying, like, great kit." Oh my god, is it an amazing kit? It is one of like you feel putting him together. You're putting together something epic, and you're putting together not just another dude, like something real special and real stupid stuff. Like I now know how shoulder pads work on Space Marines when they point. And I didn't, I mean, I had an idea before, but I'm like, how do they do it without kind of like cutting into their neck the whole time? But there's like a little servo motor in the shoulder of Abaddon, which is the only thing that the shoulder pad's on. So it raises and lowers with the arm. I'm like, that's really cool. And then like his chest piece has wires and dials and all kinds of things that don't need to be there because they're completely covered.
By the chest plate.
By the chest plate and then the symbol on top of the chest plate.
Right.
So it's almost like someone was given like 3 months to design Abaddon. They looked at Jess Goodwin's sketch, boom, 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 did it in 2 weeks. And they're like, oh shit, I don't want to do any more work this summer. Fuck. Hey, you done with Abaddon? No, I'm sculpting wires onto his chest.
Oh, wires on the chest sounds
cool,
great.
Yeah,
do
that's
it.
the really good. Yeah, fine. And then, oh, what you doing? Oh, I'm making the greaves on his leg detachable. Oh, cool. That make it easier to go in plastic? No, yeah, sure. Like, there's a lot of weird kind of cut decisions, and I'm sure some of the undercutting on like the knees and the way like that goes together is why it was decided. But it was like I have a way better understanding of how Terminators work now because of this model kit.
That's
Like,
awesome.
And it's just if anyone has a Chaos Army and doesn't own that model, go buy it. It's really, really cool.
Way worth it.
Way worth it. And as Danny said, super solid on the table too. So I put him together. I purpled up a Lord Discordant. I still need to finish the rider, but the actual Hellstalker himself is done.
Nice.
And that was a really
Jinx,
satisfying
you owe me
model.
a Coke.
All right.
Coke, right? drug references. Yeah,
I see.
ITC, UTC. We LTC for Vegas.
It's UTI, actually.
Oh, UTI. I'm going to make all of these references throughout the show.
I'm so glad I was here for this.
Don't make me show you that the pen is mightier.
I'm sorry, I haven't made
my
a penis
penis.
reference.
The pen.
But yeah, so that's kind of
penis.
what I've been doing is kind of just painting stuff that I have that I like. I am buying stuff still, obviously. Like I picked up 2 of the Forge World drills that are coming.
Oh, yeah.
I got a big eBay lot of Corn Berserkers. They are tangentially related. And then I also... And then I also picked up, I need to pick up another Heldrake. So I think especially with a lot of and I think I talked to you about this a few weeks ago, Danny, like my idea of what I want to do is just like waves and waves of assault. So kind of like turn 1, throwing Heldrakes up there, turn 2, throwing drills of whatever shit I decided to put in them finally, whether it's 6 Greater Possessed or a bunch of Corn Berserkers or all kinds of things. Like I even made a crazy list where there was 6 Greater Possessed and 3 Master of Executions and a drill. And just it was like the little superhero beat squad that jumped out the drill
Sounds cool.
Too far away because of a stupid Omni Scrambler or some shit like that, and then they missed their charge because there's no native rerolls really there.
Well, then they can just hang out in the drill, man.
No, they have to disembark when it comes up from the ground.
I don't think so.
For the Terex?
Yeah, I think it's just a transport, man.
Oh man, I gotta look at it, but
because you can just keep it on the board with dudes inside.
The subterranean assault rule is almost like a the drop pod rule, I believe, but double check that, and I'll keep talking.
Here, while you're talking, I'm going to search.
Yeah. You do. Oh, sure.
I don't want to have
shit for looking up the internet now, Dave.
Pay attention to.
Oh my gosh, whatever.
I'm paying close attention to John. I'm not seeing anything else that's happening. At
big
the table.
yawn over here.
I looked at some of the new Christmas boxes that came out. The Chaos box is not great.
It's exactly the same as the Apocalypse box, isn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
It's just less Marines and no bikes.
Yeah, so it's less Marines, no bikes. So it's just 15 Chaos Space Marines, which I'm hoping it'll get a points drop because really, even though I have cultists like to fill holes because they're 15 points cheaper than Marines and you get double the bodies, I'm hoping they drop in points a little to make Marines actually worth taking come December time. Because even then, like chapter approved is what done in the summer, you would say by summer. So like pre-Vigilus, right?
Usually.
No, it should be done after Vigilus.
Post-Vigilus?
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
And don't forget, too, that the next Psychic Awakening is probably going to have Chaos Marines.
Oh, yeah, because we had that wonderful little leak from the Spanish lists of what's coming out. And
those darn leakers. Chaos
Sorcerer 12-1.
Yeah.
I'm confusing my stores by my local store by putting in orders for stuff.
What is that?
Ahead, yeah.
I don't know. You don't know either.
But
I want one.
Just write it down.
And I pre-ordered the White Dwarf Apocrypha because I own all the other Apocryphas and they're very good.
Nice.
Didn't play any games though. The 40K. So Dave, what did you get up to in the last 2 weeks?
Well, I have been dutifully painting up purple stuff to get ready because I also, like you, don't have a clue what I'm officially taking to LVO yet.
The three of us here have predominantly purple armies for a lot of our stuff when we don't have to pick a specific chapter or something. It makes branding.
It's a great color.
And it makes branding really easier, especially hammerheadgames.net carrying Mob Rules merchandise soon for all your measuring needs. Merchandising.
Did you know that Blue Ribbon Chicken actually has a purple box?
They're not paying us, Dave.
Not yet, but if I get, I'll settle for just free chicken in Vegas.
Then you'll just get a cease and desist.
It won't be the first time. It won't be the last, John.
So, John.
Yeah.
The models in the drill can disembark. They just have to be 9 inches away if they do.
Good.
So you can hang out in there in your safe, tough to
save sitting
vehicle.
on your drill couches.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bunch of characters hanging out in a safe space like a bunch of liberal pussies.
Those little bitches.
Master of Executions.
Oh, there goes all our liberalism.
More like...
Oh, man, there were so many.
There was so many.
All we had. No, so I've been getting stuff.
That was a joke.
Oh yeah! Don't forget it, guys. Hey,
don't forget that was a joke.
Yeah, if I make a joke about Fox News, don't fucking crucify me, please.
They did crucify you.
Yeah, they did.
Danny wrote this really eloquent, really long article about dealing with Iron Hands and the Iron Hands meta, and like the first comment was, "Yeah, all the other news organizations suck. Why the fuck you got to pick on Fox News?" And you're like, "There's 500 other words there.
Because literally their slogan is fair and balanced. That's the whole reason that the joke was there, guys. It's not because I fucking endorse one over the other.
Whatever, man.
Jesus.
Whatever.
All right, sorry, I'm a dick. You're right.
Keep your politics
Sorry.
out of the podcast.
Dave, yeah, my bad.
Dave.
Just, sorry. Talk about your stuff. I'm going to get
Loopy Dave over there.
Right, so been painting up all my purple guys, getting them ready, because like you, I had no idea what I'm taking to LVO.
I think it'll float and carry things that are taller than a regular Space Marine.
Possibly. I know that I have a core list that I really want to use. I'm expecting to see a lot of stuff, a lot of people using some troops, enough troops to hold 2 engineers and other stuff like that.
Question.
Yes, go for it.
Is the core of your list 1,800 points of repulsors?
It would be if I thought it was actually viable. But actually transporting 5 repulsors down there requires 2 battle foam bags. Battle foam, they fit underneath the seats of a 747.
Please sponsor us. I need transports down to Vegas for my models.
But yeah, no, the main core of it is Chapter Master Lieutenant and 3 Executioners. Because I feel like I'm still going to run into the stuff that is going to be a problem for me, so I want to have those guns.
And Executioners are real nice, multi-purpose.
They
guns.
are. They've got a lot of anti-horde. They got a lot of other stuff. But I've really fallen in love with whirlwinds, and not Scorpius whirlwinds.
Could you say it was a whirlwind romance?
Ba-dum-bum.
I'm just going to continue
A
staring.
whirlwind romance.
Go for a third time and see if it works.
No, it's not funny if you do it a third time.
Got it. All right. So yes, so whirlwinds. So I've got 1 Thunderfire cannon, and I'm debating on whether or not I want to take 3 whirlwinds down there. Whirlwinds at Battle Zone Ursa did absolute work for me. And 2 people took engineers, and I just was like, okay, your engineers are dead. So I'm trying to figure that out. I just picked up a couple of impulsors, and I'm looking forward to testing those out. I think I might be doing 2 impulsors with 2 5-man intercessors, just full bore, mad speed, booking across the table to get to my enemy. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to testing some stuff out, but I'm really starting to feel the pressure of what I need to get.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same
there.
boat.
Oh, yeah, for real, dude.
And barring that, I looked at the same stuff you did online, John, and I got to tell you, I am not pleased with those box sets. They just don't look good.
Oh.
I will say the Age of Sigmar ones are amazing.
They look way better than the 40K ones.
And the 40K ones are more like you'll buy anything slut.
Well, okay. So can we talk about that for a minute? Like these boxes, I think that maybe they're aimed not at us, and maybe it's somebody who wants to start a new army.
Oh, no, I get it. They're aimed at like parents buying something for their kids.
No, Danny, I want a cheap and easy way to add exactly the models I want to my existing force.
Exactly.
I wish that they did one with just a lot of Primaris Marines, though, like the Chaos Space Marine one, because that one would sell super fast.
So I do think that...
Where is my Chaos box with Finecast Mutilators?
Oh, stop.
God.
Just stop.
Get out.
Shut up.
You
Get the... Yeah.
3 Masters of Execution.
This is your house, but get the fuck out.
Which mic button is yours? I'm going to mute you for a minute.
Purple 2.
All right. It's 1. Got it. No problem. No, I do think the Blood Angels one is actually a pretty solid start to a Blood Angels army, sans the
They're
Ball
all
Predator,
really solid starts to an army.
but they're nothing that stops you from just slapping on regular stuff on the Ball Predator, to make it a real Predator and something viable. But
I think that it comes with all the bits for
yeah,
a Predator
it does.
too.
It does. So, but I will admit they shocked me with some of the stuff they revealed. I gotta say, and I wrote a nice Twitter post for those of you that saw it and liked it and comments or whatever. Thank you very much. Everybody who knows me knows that I am a handle junkie. So a red handle had me running around my house looking like the women's soccer team after scoring a goal. I ripped my shirt off. It was over my head. I was screaming, woo! And my kids whipped out vuvuzelas. It was nuts. It
Dave,
was awesome.
have you heard of red spray paint?
No, John. Nobody would use red spray paint unless they're trying to play Blood Angels, and obviously nobody has them, which is why that they felt they had to release a Battle Force box to get people into Blood
I think
Angels.
it'd be pretty fun to stick one of those sticking out of your fly and walk around. I think that would be pretty good joke.
If
Can
any,
red spray
Little
paint?
red rocket action
So-
on that painting handle.
So I
give it
think
another week and Dave will have 2 of the 6 infinity handles.
Dude, we could spray them flesh colored. Get your flesh colored handle. It'll blend right in.
They're doing a 5-pack of handles, which would have been nice,
Oh, yeah.
a year ago when I was buying up all
How
the
much
handles
is that
at a time.
one for the 5-pack of handles?
Same price as 5 handles cost.
Really?
They thought it was hilarious to call it the Get Started handle box set, which made me joke.
If they have that exact packaging, I will buy it like immediately because that's hilarious.
I'm sure it's not marketed like that on there. But then they've announced a couple of other tools, and I want to take a second to actually voice my opinion without being interrupted on these tools.
Okay, I'm muting my microphone.
You're good. Thank you.
So I can interrupt him?
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
He looked at me really viciously when he said that.
Actually, I was looking at my mic when I said it. Not everything's about you, John. Maybe I was referring
false.
to Danny.
All right. I'm going to shut up.
Please mute Danny.
Here we go.
No, so they announced a spray stick, which the idea of a spray stick is not a bad idea. I think that some of the execution behind it using the physics involved are not particularly good, because anybody who's ever put together a metal mini or a fine cast mini and used tiny rubber bands to try to hold it to a stick knows that it's going to fall off. Also, people that spray and don't turn their models over using a paint stick, I don't even know who you are. I mean,
That's me.
That's me.
You don't spray underneath at all?
Well, so I tip my models over on their sides before I spray them normally. So I spray like...
So you wouldn't be using a paint stick anyway?
No, I use a flat piece of plastic, like
Right.
a lid to a box.
Right. Like God intended. That's, or a Pizza Hut box. For
I have
ladies,
definitely... Oh, man. The amount of pizza boxes that I've used to spray miniatures with is huge.
I use, for when I'm doing horde armies, and I know I'm interrupting you when I said I mute myself,
it's okay.
I'm not interrupting you. I use a 5-gallon paint stick and painter's tape. And I tape them down to the stick, and kind of that way you can turn it around. Like all of my Eldar Guardians were painted that way.
So you're moving it around. In the example pictures they show, I take a couple issues with it. Number one is that the rubber bands look like they are not tight on it at all.
Well, maybe they will be. I mean...
and that was on larger bases. So,
I think as well, listening to this, we're going to make a YouTube video where we're going to buy one and then we're going to stress test it.
I'm sure.
We're going to buy...
You could have rubber band me to it.
We're going to buy 5 or 6 because we will rubber band ridiculous shit onto a 32 millimeter base.
Right.
And stress test it.
This ball of lead.
This marital aid.
Will it hold?
Asterisk. Inside joke from before. All right, so I don't, I like the direction they're going with it, but I just don't think that their physicists have completely thought it through. For the weight of models and stuff like that, the rubber bands where they're holding it, the more paint you get on there, the more likely the rubber bands are to crack and break.
Yeah, okay.
I mean,
And they'll probably break over time too. I mean,
they'll sell Citadel
So-
bands like $10 for 2. It'll be fine.
Right. I can see the best use for it actually being buying it and putting blue tack on it and sticking your models on it with blue tack.
oh man, that would make me nervous. I know blue tack is sticky. I
It's-
just worry about my models staying on there.
I know a lot of people that use blue tack to hold all their models on and stuff. I am not one of those people because I can't use it. If I'm with you. I don't trust it, and I'd rather use a pair of surgical clamps to hold the model by my hand one at a time, spray, and then set it down on my pizza box, or something else where I know that I'm totally secure. They also announced a paint holder.
Yeah, that was smart. I thought.
Yeah, except I think a trifold paint holder doesn't do you any good unless you have 3 paints in it. So if you only have one open and you're doing a wash like most people have in the past, you're putting it on one corner of it, and that's not any stabler than having it loose.
Yeah, it is.
Not really. Depends on how weighted it is.
No, it just depends on what direction it gets bumped in.
Right.
And put 3 in it, then you have 3, and you can cycle between them. I think it's a good idea.
I like the idea, and I think if you're putting 3 in it, it's probably great. But there have been other paint holders that have already been 3D designed that they could have contacted the people and said, "Hey, we want to mass produce this." Or,
well, why would they pay for that?
But then
when
they
could
would
just do
pay,
it.
yeah.
they had to pay somebody to design it to begin with.
Probably the dude who designed Abaddon in spare time.
Highly unlikely.
What are you doing?
Servos or hoses.
Hey, they're going to be like, "Hey, are you available to?
Underneath it is like this intricate mural.
Are you available to design the new Jane Czar?" No, I'm designing a paint pot holder. Great. Awesome.
Well, in that case,
Well,
I
that's
can't
critical to
wait
our
to buy that
business plan.
$60 kit and put it together and see how exactly paint pot holders raise and lower their shoulder arms with servos and all of
And then you'll
how
know.
their servitors apply
And
their
then you'll know.
paint pot armor. I like it. I like the direction. I like that they're listening to the community because there has been an outcry for a while now of people who spill wash and stuff like that where they're like, if only there
I
was
just thought it was a joke.
There's going to be
Spilling
one
wash?
person who's
Yeah.
like, this is my whole
You've never
identity.
spilled wash, you fucking...
No?
No.
Dude, I'm careful
I've
around my
seen you
paints.
spill wash.
No, never. I think there's going to be one person, though, who's like making jokes about spilling wash is my whole identity, and you bastards took it away from me.
Yeah. But I did end it by saying, listen, I will happily review any and all of these products. I feel like I haven't been wrong in the past about what is going to be good. When they announced the paint handle,
Mm-hmm.
I literally said that's going to sell out. You cannot make enough of those fast enough. And GW could not make enough of those fast enough.
Until they could.
Until they could.
Yeah.
It's just, I just don't think the other two items are that good. And yeah, let's be honest, a red paint handle it's not necessary.
False
really what
red goes faster.
Right.
So you use the red ones for hordes.
It's still fine,
Got it.
but it's just, and the thing is, it doesn't say Citadel color, or it doesn't say Citadel on the handle anymore. Now it says Citadel color, which is their new paint line. So I get it. It's a rebranding thing for the new colors, really what it boils down to.
Well, all I know is I have a half page of notes written down for a video doing extreme tests.
I see that you have a half page of notes written down.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I gave you a piece of paper today and you weren't just writing on your table like normal.
I'm surprised I even know how to write.
That's why I have the butcher paper down for the crayons.
We all thought it was for his son. And other than that, I've been actually working on a super secret project that with Dan the Lonely Havoc, who is a Warhammer hero, actually, for a music video that we have put together that should hopefully be released by today. So if you can, nice mushroom, Danny. You should be able to find it on YouTube. I'll have a link to it on our Facebook page and on hopefully I'll be able to have it on our YouTube. If not, I'll link to Dan's.
Let's link to Dan's and see how many copyright strikes he gets first.
Oh, it's going to be all of them.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
link to Dan's.
I wrote-
There's only so many we can have.
I wrote the song. Dan played the music for it and sang it, and then he and I appear in the video. So, I'm pretty happy with the way it's turning out. It's pretty awesome. So, other than that, that's what I've been up to, guys.
All right, well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to talk about what Danny's been up to, because Danny has been
A bad
world traveling.
motherforker.
He's traveled from the west coast of America in Alaska here to the west coast of America, and
He got robbed in a diner while he was down there. Did you hear about that?
Ornaya. I'm
I
sure
robbed them in a diner.
he just wanted his wallet back, the one that said "bad motherfucker."
Yeah.
Do you have a single wound? A standard bolt gun? Having trouble maintaining an acceptable Xenos kill count? Only barely over 2 meters tall? Maybe it's time to ask your lieutenant if the Rubicon Primaris is right for you. The Rubicon Primaris is a prescription process that helps you to update that tired look. You may notice an increase in your purging abilities within 2 to 4 hours. You may experience loss of life, additional organs, and a points increase. Do not take the Rubicon if you plan on fitting into rhinos, drop pods, or other traditional vehicles. The Rubicon Primaris is not intended for second founding chapters. The Rubicon Primaris is for use on genetically enhanced super soldiers over the age of 800 only. You are encouraged to report negative side effects to your company's apothecary. The Rubicon Primaris. Because sometimes plot armor is just not enough.
And we're back. Sorry, Dave, you're going to say something?
Well, I was going to remind you that now is the perfect opportunity to thank all our Patreons for helping us get stuff done. And
For sure.
paid
Oh,
for
yeah,
things
for
like
sure.
stickers and that we were able to have ready for Danny. And
Yeah, they keep the lights running here, and very much appreciated. We're excited to see you guys in Vegas.
I was able to make it rain on a couple of people, so that was pretty great.
not with Patreon money, with stickers.
Oh, correct. Sorry, yes.
And personal money, because strippers.
Yep.
Wonderful.
No, I was hoping to mention that before as we could discuss it before we went live, but you hit the button, so never mind.
did, and
now
you
we've
know-
done it. Thanks, Patreon guys.
You know we don't edit here.
Nope.
And then big thanks to their support as well. We're going to be able to do some very extreme hobby tool testing coming up here to find the limits of Citadel paint products.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite note that you made there is, will you get arrested for having a flesh-colored paint handle out of your pants walking around a mall?
It's called a prop, and there's magnets involved. It'll be fine.
Not a marital.
But while Dave and I we're busy at home maritating and making models and painting shit purple.
Please say you're going to edit that bit out. I don't need people to think you and I are marital aiding together. It's called a wife swap, John. We once said we wouldn't ever talk about it again.
Except on episode 60.
Do not edit, Dave. How many times must I say this? But yeah, well, Dave and I were painting our models purple. Danny was painting Southern California red. Oh.
Yep.
As he took part in Frontline Gaming's newest major, the SoCal Open.
Yeah, what a great time. So I think it's the third year of the SoCal
Third
Open.
year of SoCal.
It's a super major.
It's huge. So, well, I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, it's not LVO, right? Like, nothing is.
No.
That's what John's wife said.
No. I mean,
So-
it's you can still have fun with it, but there's a lot bigger out there.
I think that there's...
That's like the... It's like you fucking...
God, it's like your tagline, man.
Yeah, it was like that was the tagline on your sex tape, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You get within 6 inches, you're going to obliterate everything.
At least my sex tape was made in the time when like you could have noise and music, and then
Hey.
not just some dude in a piano.
They were called
And
silent
no cards that were
wonders.
like, it's okay, it happens.
I would watch a silent porno film now, actually.
I mean, thanks Patreon for funding Dave's silent porno projects.
Right?
Yeah.
Like the one entitled Riding Crop Party.
Bother.
All right, so I went to SoCal Open. SoCal is probably in its third year, like we said. I think it's the fourth or fifth largest GT in the world, or event in the world.
I'm making notes for the next 40K Jeopardy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Why is there a penis drawn on the back of this
Yep,
one?
you can thank me.
No, please do not respect that. I tried to draw a penis. You pulled your picture of 4 kidney beans away from me, so I could not draw a penis.
'Cause I
so
need to
no,
hang it on
you
my
cannot.
fridge.
You cannot tell that joke. Why do you need to draw a terrain setup on your fridge?
Because my kids don't do art for me.
That's how
anymore.
he practices.
So he practices.
With magnets.
But anyway,
So I've been busy the last couple of weeks prepping for that event. So I've been painting and building and doing everything at the last minute like I always do. So it was great fun.
And delivering just absolute beatdowns to people as you practice your list.
Oh, yeah, I did do some pretty good beatdowns on people. So the list turns out is pretty good. I was pretty happy with how it came out in general. The list I took, and you can look at this on BCP if you'd like. I have an air wing, a spearhead, and a battalion. They're all Iron Hands. And I'm running Iron Hands chapter tactics as well. I'm not running a successor because successor chapters are for punks.
and this is a post FAQ fun time, right?
Correct, of course. Of course.
Yeah, so that, you had to actually use skill to win instead of just relying on the...
Okay.
Spoilers.
Don't let them see behind the curtain, Brandon.
Look, man, I'm okay. Like I'm not a fucking super genius or anything.
That's not true.
Anyway, so my air wing, I had 3 Stormhawk interceptors. I had in my spearhead, I had Farios leading that.
Smart.
And then I had a Relic Leviathan Dreadnought with 300 killer missiles, 2 heavy flamers, and 2 storm cannon arrays.
Did you model the hunter killer missiles?
I did.
Okay.
They actually come on the model. They're like, so for 30K, it's a Phosphex launcher, but it's like 3 little tiny missiles that go on top of his carapace
All right, cool.
in a little pod. And then I've got 2 units of 3 eliminators with bolt rifles and the instigator bolt carbines, so they can fall back after firing Overwatch.
Okay.
Well, not fall back, but they can move 6 inches. And then a Thunderfire cannon. And then I had a battalion with a Primaris Lieutenant who was my warlord. With a power sword. I had a Primaris Librarian. I had a unit of 5 Sniper Scouts, 5 Tactical Marines with bolters and a chainsword, and 5 Intercessors with Stalker bolt rifles and a chainsword on the Sergeant.
All right.
Oh, and then I also had a Whirlwind Scorpius. That's important. And maybe most importantly, The most recent addition to my list was 5 Assault Centurions with Hurricane Bolters and Flamers.
Yeah. So don't forget, folks, if you have the BCP app subscription, you can look at his list and any of the other lists of the people that he played with.
Apart from a few cowards.
Yeah, there were a couple people that didn't have lists uploaded, actually.
I thought that was actually mandatory.
Yeah, I think maybe some people were having problems with it or something, so they didn't make... I saw a couple of them that were in there that weren't loaded up, but whatever.
All right.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm sure they had approval from the judges. Let's see here. Okay, so I got down there on Friday. Yeah, I got down there like Friday afternoon. My in-laws just moved into town, so I had a nice place to stay.
In San Diego, right?
In San Diego. Yeah, they live in Escondido, which is like... So it's like an hour away from the venue, but it's like... from the airport, but it's like 30 minutes from the venue or something like that, so I just drove every day. Which was nice. Like I don't normally get to go to a big tournament where I get to drive home at night and like go to sleep in a nice bed. So that was definitely nice. But on my trip down there in Seattle, I stopped at the airport and I was
you would.
Right, yeah. During a layover, right? And so we're waiting to board.
Ding, ding, ding.
And
this is my stop. Eric, could you land here?
And this nice gentleman approaches me and says, "Hey, Danny, how's it going?" And I said, "Oh, hey, Peter." So it was Peter the Falcon was at my...
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
Peter the Falcon? Yeah, nice. Good impression. That's exactly what he sounds like in real life, too.
I imagine, yeah.
He has a falcon. I was told I was mistaken that he is not an actual falcon, but I am correct that he has a pet falcon.
No, he only plays one on the radio.
But he did sleep in at a Holiday Inn Express last night, so
I don't know if he did much sleeping on this trip. Anyway,
did he?
He said, "Hey, by the way, Pablo just told me that he may not be able to come pick me up from the airport. Is there any way?" So he said, "How are you getting like to the place you're staying?" I'm like, "Oh, I rented a car. Do you want a ride?" He's like, "Yes. If Pablo falls through, please give me a ride."
So did you get like a car big enough for your army, his Falcon, him and you, or did the Falcon have to like get tied to the antenna in a? I mean, I imagine it's like a big canary cage.
Well, yeah, it's a big cage with like a it has a hood over the top of it, so it keeps the sunlight out because that keeps the birds calm. I mean, I don't know if you knew this. He bought an extra seat on the airplane for it.
I don't know if you know this, but that seems like a waste of good cloth to cover the entire cage when all you have to do is put it over its eyes. Come on, any good falconer knows this.
Yeah, but you don't want other people sticking their fingers in there where the falcon can bite them off.
Dude,
or snatch them up.
Look, okay, if the lesson of Binky, the polar bear, and the Australian woman from Alaska isn't going to hold true, people need to learn.
All right.
He is making Stat Center money. He can afford the finest cover for a cage, and that is the last word on the matter.
Made of pure plastic bags. He had to poke a couple holes in it so the falcon wouldn't suffocate. Anyway, so we get there.
That's how you get kids, Danny.
Pablo couldn't make it, so I ended up giving Peter a ride to the venue beforehand. So I stopped in, chatted with Pablo a little bit. He mentioned he would love to come up again for Ursa, and I said he definitely should.
Was this before?
So you're going to avenge your loss?
Oh man, I want to crush him real bad.
Was this before or after he
and
said,
then play 40K?
Who are you?
No, he recognized me right away.
You don't got to lie to us. It's okay. Pablo's a big name star.
That's true. He is. Yeah. He's a 40K celebrity, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Anyway,
which is the greatest and saddest term I've ever heard at the same time.
So then I went to my in-laws and hung out for the night. Just kind of tried to relax. Got my army ready for the next day because I had to wake up bright and early because the tournament started at 9 a.m.
And you had an hour drive.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, there and back again, right?
Oh man, what if something happened on the 405? How would that have really impacted you getting there in time?
I just took the back roads actually, which was nice. I didn't have to do much high. Yeah, I do like to go. I do like to go a little off road, a little mudding, if you know what I mean. Wink. So yeah, wink.
This thrilling California traffic report brought to you by Innuendo.
So I got there early in the morning. I was ready to play. I felt pretty confident. I was just waking up. My first match was against Rob Hartford. Rob Hartford is from the Pacific Northwest. He brought a Dark Eldar list. And so I don't know if he's actually played against the New Marines before. So I would say it was fairly an eye-opening experience for him. He did some pretty cool moves and kept in the game, so he kept the primary score going pretty good, but by about turn 3, he kind of petered out of maybe it was turn 4. He kind of like petered out of models that he had left in his army.
Okay.
So
I mean, that can happen.
yeah, sure. Like I think I lost mostly I lost a couple of planes, and I think I lost maybe 1 or 2 assault centurions. I'm not sure.
So the recurring theme that I've noticed against Iron Hands is that Iron Hands beat you in a submission by just kind of getting your model count lower and lower, so you just can't do stuff.
Oh, it's totally a battle of attrition, right?
Yeah,
like
they're all about attrition. So that's probably going to be a theme. I'm assuming from most of your games.
Yeah. I think I would say that's probably true, except for the games where I just it's just a blowout and I wreck my opponent so fast that he can't really deal with it. And so
his name is John Miller, and you will respect him.
I won't. I refuse.
I refuse.
Except for games where it's just a blowout.
So, yeah, I think that was a tough matchup for him. I mean, I think I do really well against that kind of army. He had a lot of grotesques, and while those were probably really good a while ago, they weren't very good against Centurions or the amount of storm cannon shots that I could bring to the table.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, the grotesques are 2, 3 wound models?
4 wound models.
4 wound models.
Yep.
So
with a 4-up invul and a 6-up feel no pain.
2 damage weapons tend to put them down fairly quick.
They did kill them pretty quick. And so then my next game I played against Alan Marshall. Alan Marshall had an Ultramarine army. It was kind of it was almost a mirror match. I deployed really defensively, and then I actually seized the initiative. So this game was a game
I hear seizing's going away hopefully in the next season of ITC.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be fine with that. Or at least on the missions where you have to deploy your entire army, I'd be fine with that. But we'll see what happens. Or maybe on the counter deploy, like where each person you're deploying back and forth. That'd be fine if C's went away on that one. It might be good if the C's stayed in for the missions that you have to deploy all against your opponent, because that way it kind of keeps you on your toes a little bit, so that you can't just deploy super aggressively and know you're going first. Yeah. That way you have to play a little bit more conservative. Anyway, so this game was like me being pretty hype for my last win, or for my first win, and then me playing like total dog shit the entire time. So I made a bunch of tactical mistakes. I measured out a distance, like I moved my Leviathan up, and I thought he was within 24 inches of an enemy model, and he was about a 1/4 inch out when we actually measured it. And so I wasn't able to Were
you using a Stanley tape measure? Because if you'd been using a Stanley,
they still don't sponsor
it. It would have stretched into an extra 1/4 inch.
Okay. Yeah,
that's the title of Dave's sex tape.
Sometimes all you need is that extra 1/4 inch.
It's true. That's the tickle spot, right? So I
tickle spot.
I played the best that I could. I really fucked up that first turn, and I should have played a lot better with my Centurions. I got them out thinking, I didn't pre-measure, which again was stupid. I always pre-measure this stuff often. My eye is pretty good about this stuff, and I was way further out than I thought I was. So I needed a 10-inch charge to make it into combat with my Centurions. Oof. And so I put them out. They had the +1 save power on them, so they were rocking a 1-up, but I left them so that they weren't towing cover. So, if I would have done that, they would have been a 0-up, and I would have had no problems against his army. And I still would have been able to shoot and everything else. So that was stupid stuff that I was doing. And so that cost me almost the entire unit of Centurions, I would say.
Was that after the Dreadnought measuring?
Yeah, so that was turn.
So you probably were a little bit tilted at that point in time?
No, I don't get tilted. So that's not something that happens to me.
Oh, well, Lottie fucking dumb, Mr. Superman.
So... Yeah, I'm pretty even keeled. It takes a lot to get me really upset. So I wasn't paying attention, and I wasn't measuring correctly, and so I really screwed the pooch on that one. Anyway, so I failed that charge. He killed the Centurions. He killed all my planes on the first turn too, which was pretty rough. He had a Stalker with Cronus in it. And that thing did a ton of work. He used Skyfire on it, and he had 1 Hunter Killer Missile and rolled the 6 on the wound roll, so it does double damage.
Ouch.
So he did 10 damage to a flyer with the 1 missile.
Yikes.
So that was pretty harsh. So yeah, losing all 3 flyers in the first turn sucked. But you know, it is what it is. I did the best I could. I made some really good plays though late in the game, to where I wrapped. He got too close to my intercessors with his Leviathan Dreadnought, and I was able to charge out of a magic box and wrap it. And they were also in range of an objective, the center objective, and it was the 3 objective mission. So nice. I was able to hold more and kill more on that turn. So I scored a bunch of points. So I really was evening up the score. And then I made my third final and really shitty mistake where I pulled casualties incorrectly, and he was able to kill my tactical squad with Tigurius in close combat, which was unfortunate. Had they lived, that would have scored me another 2 points, which would have been huge for because I would have I played, not only that, I also didn't move my planes into recon on the first turn. I really played very poorly this game. So it was my game to lose. I lost the game 26-21. So I didn't even lose very hard. I was really making up points in the last turn. In the last few turns.
But those 3 or so misplays really cost you the 5-6 points.
For sure. Oh, for sure. My Leviathan Dreadnought exploded though and did 20 mortal wounds to his army. So that was pretty clutch. Well, they have a 9-inch radius of explosion.
Yeah,
and so I
had the atomic reactor or something, right?
Yeah. So I lost that game, which is that is what it is. It's okay to lose some games. Next game.
No, never.
You can't learn if you don't lose, John. That's the tenet of
growth.
So
true.
I learn from the screams of my opponents.
So next game I played against Bridger Hahn, which is probably one of the nicest guys that I have ever played against. He was super fun. We got up to the table. He saw I was playing Iron Hands. He was playing Ultramarines. And we just immediately started a really great banter and had a really good time playing our game. It was really a pleasant game.
Was the initial banter well, fuck, okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. And I'm like, yep. And he had, his list was really unique because he had a unit of 5 Devastator Centurions with all las cannons.
Ooh,
wow.
Yeah.
Which I think actually do a lot of work against a lot of matchups because it's a lot of las cannons.
Yeah, it is. That's 10 las cannons, right?
Yeah, plus 60 bolter shots, right? So that's also pretty good. Anyway, so we played in this table. This table was so crazy. There were 8 magic boxes on this table.
That's 9 too many.
It's a lot. But it was, I would say the magic boxes were better for him than they were for me. Because he had 2 units of 6 aggressors and the Centurions. So they could all hide in the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
And so I got first turn in this game. So this is one of the only... So the Ultramarine game and this game were the only games that I got first turn. Every other game I played, I got second, either by choice or that's just the way it rolled out. And that was fine because I like going second. So my first turn, I blew up his Thunderfire cannon, just like I did against the Ultramarines player, which removed all of his indirect fire, which meant that I have the Scorpius and the Thunderfire cannon to nothing. So basically that puts him on a timer. So now his words actually, he's like, great, now I'm on a timer. Because you can just kill all my stuff out of line of sight. And I'm like, yep, pretty much. That's the way it's going to go. He's like, okay, well then.
That's why that's why I'm seriously looking at 3 whirlwinds. It's not optimal. And I really like the ability to be able to kill all the stuff out of line of sight,
I guess. I don't know.
Pants and or belt and suspenders, man. It's too much. It does the same thing.
So,
is that a Canadian proverb?
I wouldn't know.
Anyway, so he was like, all right, well, I have to get in there and try and do some stuff. So he did a cool move where he advanced Tigurius out of the building and cast Null Zone, and it hit my Leviathan.
Ooh.
I tried to do the auto-deny psychic power to where I
on
could...
the 4+.
On the 4+, but I failed the reroll. So I tried it and then tried it again and failed both. So it was 75% chance to work, but it didn't work, and I wasted 3 CP on that. So that was harsh.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so I sorry. So I set up the so he set up Gulliman to charge my Leviathan after this. So
so he was also rocking Guilliman.
Oh yeah, sorry. So he had Gulliman, Tigurius, Cassius. He had the whole cast, right?
He stopped at McCrag on the way to SoCal and got there and just threw down.
Heroes of the chapter, here to save the day.
So
by their powers combined,
he was like, "All right,
we are not that overpowered anymore, but still annoying."
No, Ultramarines are great, man. That's a good book for sure. It's very versatile.
So I meant to ask you, for these two Ultramarine players, were they using Primaris Tigurius or were they using
of course
Tigurius?
No, Primaris all the way. He's so much better. You cannot take. I don't think you can take a normal librarian anymore. I don't think it's worth it.
Oh,
like in general.
Well, I meant normal Tigurius. Technically, you still can. He's in the index.
Sure, but why?
I know. Points. I don't know. Maybe
because like Primaris Tigurius has so much other stuff going for him too.
I think everybody should be in Primaris.
Sure.
I would love to see Primaris Centurions. I might actually use them then.
Ooh, a Primaris Emperor.
Shut up, John. All right, so he charges Guilliman into the Leviathan Dreadnought, and I'm like, well, you know what? I've got the Warlord trait where I can just consolidate away 6 inches after he fights, so I don't have to worry about him fighting twice. I'm just going to walk away from him. I'm not going to overwatch him to death. I can just kill him on my turn with all my other shots. So he swings with Might of Heroes up as well, so we strength 9 with the sword, which is good.
Disgusting.
And he gets 7 or 8 attacks or something like that, and does, with my half damage strat popped, he rolled no 6s for mortal wounds, which was a bummer for him.
Oof.
He got I think
Dave, I could take your track for the last 2 minutes recorded and just have really good reactions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you got a strength 9 Guilliman. He's got 7 attacks because he charged. You said, right?
Yep.
So he charged. So he charged in. He's strength 9 with 7 attacks, mortal wounds on 6s. The odds of killing the Leviathan. Well,
really bad. Really bad.
I mean,
you should, kids. So this was the mistake that he took home. He's like, man, I should not have done that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. Is first off, it's not good to begin with. At best, you maybe do 7 attacks, so you 6, you 1.5, 2 mortal wounds, if roughly, statistically.
MathHammered.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. Yep.
And then they're D3 on the sword for everything.
They're flat 3.
Is it? Oh, flat 3. Oh, that's right. They changed that.
Yeah.
Flat 3. I mean, he's gonna probably wound. Let's see, he rerolls 1s, so half of them should get all the hits through.
It's way more than half. So he should hit all times pretty much, and then he wounds 80% of the time roughly. So it's 78%. So he probably basically this is what happened. He did 5 wounds to me after saves.
Right.
And so I took 4 damage because I rolled a feel no pain, and then I said, okay, I'm leaving. Oh, I'm still at full tier. You're outside of 3 inches, so you can't consolidate and fight me again. It's not going to go well for you.
So you walk, or heroically intervene, you mean?
No. So my Dreadnought has the Warlord trait, so he can consolidate 6 inches no matter the direction. So he doesn't have to go towards the closest enemy. So he literally doesn't fall back. He just walks out of combat at the end of combat.
Right. No. I'm familiar with the Warlord trait. It was more of, I was confused thinking that you were saying that Bobby G would consolidate into you.
Well, so he could spend 3 CP to fight. Oh no, that stratagem doesn't work that way anymore.
Yeah.
For Space Marines.
Okay.
So anyway, I was out of range for him to do anything to me, and I just shot him off the table on the next turn. Even when he got back up, I then assaulted him with assault Centurions, and they killed him.
Isn't it at the end of the battle round that he gets back up?
No, it's at the end of the phase.
Is it the end of the phase?
Yep.
Okay.
At least that's the way he played it. I don't know. I don't play Guilliman. I don't know how that shit works. So anyway, meanwhile, all my planes are flying around, killing all this stuff. It was a really brutal game. But couldn't be a nicer guy. I know he does Warhammer videos online with Brian Pullen, the guy who won SoCal. So he's the producer for his channel.
Oh shit!
And so he was playing.
Did you give him your business card?
I gave him a lot of stickers. He was pretty happy about that.
Nice.
He was a super nice guy. We kept up with each other throughout the event. It was fun to talk to him. So I won that game 36-8. It was a pretty brutal beatdown. So I was 2-1 after day 1. And meanwhile, I've been seeing one of our listeners, Kyle. So first of all, let's just establish this.
Oh yeah, shout out to Kyle.
Yeah, seriously.
In case we haven't enough yet.
Yeah. So For those who may remember, Kyle was the lovely gentleman who saved my life at LVO when he gave me a giant pineapple beer.
That is not an understatement. He was literally dying.
I was losing my game super badly. And so he gave me this like liter beer, which I immediately slammed while I was playing my game. My opponent's like, "Are you okay?"
Not as badly as you're about to feel. Pass out.
I would like to say that I remember Kyle giving me a giant liter beer, but all I know is that there's a quick blur because something happened. I drank something and then I was passed out. So
yeah. My tushy felt weird.
my tolerance is a lot lower than Danny's. So when I chugged the liter beer, or I assume I chugged it, that was it for me.
All right. Well, so I hung out with Kyle that night. I went with him and some of his friends to a pizza place, which was really fun. We
Was it
drank some
Shakey's?
beers. No, it was a good pizza place.
Man, fucking Shakey's. I miss you so much, Shakey's.
So that was super fun. We had some great conversation and talked about some stuff. Kyle showed me stuff that he's pulled out of people's butts. So that was professionally. So that was pretty rad.
And personally.
I'm sorry. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to need a minute to process that. And also
Usually
make a
it
mental
takes you-
note not to accept any pocket watches from Kyle.
So Kyle gave me this really awesome pocket watch.
I see that it's been repainted too.
Yeah. It does. It smells fine though. I mean, it's got a fine odor.
I was going to say,
Like
Dave, usually
Febreze.
it takes you longer than a minute to be, like, shorter than a minute to be okay with things being pulled out of asses. That was a compliment.
What?
All right.
Because you said it's going to take a minute for you to understand
to-
stuff coming out of an ass. And I'm like, usually it takes you shorter than that.
So
I don't need you to explain things coming out of asses. to me,
Kyle's a
Danny.
great guy.
Oh,
He also
fuck you.
gave
I'm going to
me-
rimshot that joke. There you go. See, that deserved that. That was funny. Stop it, Dave.
He also gave me an
I'm
excellent
going to keep
coffee
kicking this
beer,
goddamn drum set.
which was awesome.
He give you a Oh,
Yeah, coffee beer this
Kyle,
time.
save coffee beer for me
Kyle.
for LVO.
Which he snuck into the event. Oh, he also gave me a Bolter Show
Don't
shot
say he-
glass.
Don't-
Okay, wait. Should we have to change his name if he's sneaking alcohol into things?
They made it like a really big thing. They were gonna, yeah.
Well, I didn't
Karn.
say his last name.
Karn.
There's probably a lot of Kyles there, guys.
A lot of fucking Chads there.
Yeah, I'm
Oh
sure.
man, well this guy. I pointed to myself for the listeners who couldn't extrapolate that.
Oh, did you? Because I thought you pointed to me, and I was like, why am I?
Yeah, no.
Just remember, Danny, every time you point your finger at somebody else, you're pointing 4 back at you or something. 3, I'm not sure. Fool me once, shame on me.
Oh, wait, I got this one.
Thanks.
Ruin my joke.
Fucking
I'll
why is
ruin
this
yours.
drum? Why do you have so many drum kits in your house?
Yeah, each sound is a new drum kit. I'm very in debt.
Yeah.
So roll on day 2. Day
Is that-
2.
That's the deodorant you put on.
Yep.
Speed
Yep.
stick
Yeah, right. No, I use Old Spice. So
for ladies.
they put up pairings on for round 4 the night before, and I saw that I was going to play Michael Tempe. Now, Michael Tempe is a host of the High Lords of Terra podcast, which is an excellent podcast if you're into competitive 40K and you want to listen to
Or
some
good
guys.
podcasts.
Yeah, or good podcasts. Go ahead and check that out. I think it's pretty solid. It's a great show. It's a great show. So I decided that this was a battle for the podcast. So whoever won this would own the other person's podcast.
Oh shit! No,
in perpetuity.
Why do you keep selling my podcast wherever you go? LVO, SoCal, Jesus.
Because you gave me the executive power. You should read all the documents I
Yes,
make you
seriously.
sign, John.
gonna go back to reading.
No, you won't.
No, I won't.
Why won't it read?
And so, so Michael's one of the best Necron players probably in the
That wasn't
country.
he top.
He
top
was number 1 for a bit, but there's some folks in Texas who have really good records as well. I think he's in 3rd right now.
That's good.
So he's still doing really good. I mean, he's close to them for sure.
Yeah, no, and we've chatted with him in other formats before, and
Yep.
totally likable guy. So
Oh man,
I can imagine
so
this being like a
in
great
person,
game.
he's like twice as nice as that.
Is that possible?
I don't know.
Is he Canadian?
No, he's just really nice, man.
Oof.
He might. I mean, maybe he's Canadian. I don't think he is, but
Maybe. Is he
I didn't hear
is
him
he
say
Italian
a boot or anything.
by way of Canada?
Anyway, so he was playing Necrons. He had three Doomsides, 3 Doomsday Arcs, 3 Tesseract Arcs, which are a different thing that you don't normally see.
Yeah.
A unit of Scarabs, 3 units of 5 Immortals, and a couple characters, so 3 characters total.
3 units of 5 Immortals. Okay.
So
I like it.
15
I like
Immortals.
yeah, thanks, John.
You're welcome.
I can math. I just don't read. That's how Danny owns the podcast.
MathHammered.
So
I don't believe that's your voice in that sound clip there, Dave.
Said I'm buying my own baby's first board. Full of dueling sound clips.
So this list is actually like, it's probably a really great list against a lot of people, but man, my Flyers just take apart this list really hard.
Hashtag Iron Hands 2019.
Right, well,
This list is probably really good against a lot of people, but
well, okay. So I think that the Iron Hands list is good against. It's like my list is definitely an all comers list. Like it's good against pretty much anything.
You do love taking all the comers.
Just like your mom.
Yeah, I'll take the trombone on that one.
Yeah.
I stumbled over it at the last second.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
if it's like I of all people know if it's a bad joke, you got to go 100%. Otherwise,
Just
it doesn't work.
sell it.
That's what I just faded out. Like a candle in the wind.
So couldn't be a nicer guy also in person. Like it just like his online persona is like he's a nice guy. He's actually like an incredibly nice person. And yeah, like the Flyers just like took this list apart pretty well. But like it was he got to go first. He did his Doomsday thing. It did a bunch of mortal wounds to stuff, but he couldn't seal the deal on very many things. Like he killed the Thunderfire cannon and he killed one of my Flyers on the first turn.
So
with everything.
The three croissant Flyer strat can do at max six mortals, right?
9.
Is it 9 per thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's potential of 9. Yeah, it's 3d3.
Okay.
So he killed the Centurion. He killed. Oh, maybe he didn't. No, he didn't kill a Centurion. He got one down to 1 wound because I passed a couple 6-ups. He did 5 wounds to a Flyer. He almost killed the Thunderfire cannon, but didn't quite. But then killed it with shooting from other stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, so that game was over pretty quick. We just called it on like turn 4 or something like that, and kind of talked the rest of the game out, so to speak. But it was a pretty brutal beating. He's a great player. I just don't think that was the matchup for him for sure. And I think Necrons are going to have a really tough time in this meta. But like all of my shooting is perfect against Necrons because like it's not high damage weaponry. It's all lots of shots, 1 or 2 damage.
Yeah, the Executioner build suffers against Necrons when they have whatever the field is called, where if you
quantum shielding.
Thank you.
Quantum shielding. 6 of his vehicles have quantum shielding.
Yeah. Necrons are not ideal for me as a matchup. Like sure. I need to play a run and gun hide game in order to beat Necrons, which is something that I learned. So
I had that going for me. So I won that game 35-8. So I did pretty good there. So round 5, I played Daniel Olivas. So Daniel Olivas is
second Daniel, and at this point, you guys were playing for top Daniel at SoCal.
It's true. It's true. We were. So we were in the running for
title.
So we immediately started with, hey, our names will be easy this game, right? Yeah, sure.
Well, what if he was like,
Danny
my
still
name
forgets.
is Daniel, and you're like, well, my name's Danny, and he's like, well, you're the inferior because Daniel is the superior version.
That's false. It's just the more pretentious one. So
did he have a monocle and a top hat? Because if so, I got to give around to him.
So Daniel was playing a mix of Eldari. So he had Dark Eldar, he had some Yanari, and he had a bunch of Craft World stuff.
Okay.
I knew this list was going to be tough because this guy is one of the top ranked Eldar players. Like he's the top ranked Yanari player. He's also
it's easy to remain the top ranked Yanari player when nobody plays Yanari.
Well, he still had the Incarn and Yvrain in his list, so he had Yanari
Well, he
stuff.
just got Psychic Awakening, so
he actually took a Yanari Supreme Command.
It's smart. I mean, the points went down in Psychic Awakening. Psychic Awakening made it into the SoCal rules cutoff.
After the game, he was like, "Yep, I'm not playing with the Incarn anymore. It's not good enough." Which I don't know. It seemed really good to me, but like maybe I'm just inexperienced with how good it was.
How good it was in its prior incarnation.
In prior incarnation.
Which, for those that didn't remember the days of Yannari bullshit.
Well, no, I mean, even like, even after the nerf, it was still strength 7. It went down to strength 6, which was kind of a big deal. So this game was the Precious Cargo, so it's priority objectives. So we each took a priority objective on the same side of the board. We had like a Dawn of War deployment. Okay. And so I kind of faked. I think I won deployment, but I didn't put enough resources into defending my own objective, which he was able to take like pretty much every turn. So even though I was either killing more or holding more every turn, we were still tying the primary every time. And there was no way I was going to hit. It just wasn't going to happen. So I killed. I killed so much of his army. I went second. He killed a unit of eliminators on turn 1, and that was about it. And then I did the best that I could to try and defend my objective. I think I could have played it a little bit better in that respect, and I think I could have deployed. So first of all, this table was weird in that it had 7. Okay, so you know the frontline gaming terrain that has the L?
Yeah.
Like the big L's, and there's 2 of them? This table had 7 of those.
Wait, like the ones I have?
Yeah.
Like
the field
base L's?
It has 7 field base L's and then a couple of enclosed ruins.
What?
Weird.
Okay. So it both helped and hurt both of us on several occasions.
Yikes. Okay. I think I would have redefined terrain and pulled off like 3 of them maybe or something.
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want to do that. Like it would be then there would be no terrain on the table, and that would be bad for both of us, I think.
Well, if there were like 7 of the L's, I mean,
could you have made them 7 J's?
I don't know, or maybe 1 W in the middle.
Oh yeah, for wonder.
Yeah, or an M for McDevitt. All right, so this game was like really cagey. He's a great player. He moved his stuff around really well. He was pretty transparent with how he was moving his models, which was great. I tried so hard to kill the fucking Incarn. I did this. I thought it was a pretty good move where I strafed it with a plane. Like I flew up a plane to try and assassinate him, but outside of 3 inches, so he couldn't heroically intervene into me and blow me up. He passed every single 4-up invulnerable save that I shot at him, and I probably did like probably 10 wounds to it, maybe more. And I rolled. That was me rolling poorly too, I would say. Which was a crying shame.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Incarn also perils almost every single psychic phase. So, but I think that thing probably died 3 or 4 times and then came back because it regenerates wounds from Eldar dying around it. He also had this incredible psychic phase one turn where he super smited 3 times in a row, and then also got the super smite on the targeted smite from the Yannari discipline. So he killed my entire unit of Centurions in 1 psychic phase.
Jesus.
Which was like insane. Like he was like, okay, well, I guess this is going to keep me in the game then. But anyway, this game was super tight, super close. I was losing this game pretty much every single turn. Just on secondaries, I didn't do super good on recon this game. I only got recon like maybe 2 turns.
Well, if you're losing the planes pretty early on, it gets a lot tougher for you to get.
I had a plane at the end of the game. It actually got me a line breaker.
Braggart.
Yeah. So this game ended up on the very last turn. I had a freaking amazing turn where I killed like 4 units. I had Headhunter, and I only had like 2, maybe 3 points. I had maybe 2 points for it, and I got all the rest of my Headhunter points that turn.
Nice.
I had a unit of 5 Stalker Bolter guys assassinate Yvraine. Like they just shot her and she died. She failed all of her invulnerable saves and then also all of her feel no pains and just died.
Yeah, because the Incarn took all of the hot dice.
That must have been it actually. So, but man, my Scorpius did work this game. It got me so many points. I mean, it killed pretty much everything. And I was able to use the Librarian to cast the +1 to hit on it every turn. Oh. So it was BS 2+ and rerolling 1s, which was awesome.
Yeah.
So this game, surprisingly, because of my last turn antics, ended up in a tie. Because I was able to get the number of kills that I needed.
How frustrating was that for your opponent?
No, I think he was okay with it because he didn't figure that he was going to win anyway.
Oh, nice.
I don't think so.
He wasn't paying any attention to the score then?
No, I think he was. I just think that he we stopped the clock on the last turn. Because I think he burned through his time a lot faster than me because I still had like 15 minutes left on my last turn and he had like 30 seconds. So, yeah. Anyway, so he's like, all right, you need to do this and this and this to get a tie. And I said, okay, cool. Well, I'm going to do all that stuff. He's like, all right, cool. So, and I did it. I did all the things. So it was a 28-28 tie. So a really
That's
high
a really
point.
high scoring
it
tie.
is.
Yeah. All right.
So you finished out SoCal 4-1-1. Your
Well,
best.
he had one more game.
I have one more game, actually.
Oh, I thought that was your last game.
Nope.
My bad.
All right. So last game I played
I
against.
thought your last
Who,
game
who
was
would
the
end
tie.
on a tie? That's such poor form.
That would be the worst, actually. So I played against Scott Rumpel. Scott Rumpel had a beautifully painted Space Wolf army.
And an amazing last name.
Yeah, it's a pretty good name. I think it's Rumpel. I think that's how you pronounce it. Anyway,
It is now.
really nice guy, but like pretty defeated. He's like, oh man, I managed to dodge Marines this whole time and now I get one. I'm like, well, you win enough times, man. You're probably going to end up playing against the big dogs.
Danny, of course,
In a joking way.
humility in full flow.
Yeah.
So like this game was over super fast. Like he went first and so managed to get most of his wolfen into a building, but not all of them, which was, that was the end of them. Cause like I walked up the assault centurions and they shot hurricane bolters at them. And then also the dreadnought shot its storm cannons at them whilst they were inside the building and cleared them out entirely. And then he moved some aggressors up to try and get some shots off, but they didn't actually do anything. And then I assaulted them with my assault centurions and they died as well. He killed like a couple units. He killed a unit of infiltrator or eliminators and 2 planes because he could use the wolves repulsor executioners because he had a repulsor executioners, a Leviathan dreadnought, a whirlwind Scorpius, and then he had some wolf and some aggressors and some like support characters and stuff like that. But it wasn't a ton of other stuff. But they have a really great strat called Keen Senses where they can ignore all the penalties. So his executioner still hits my flyers that are -2 to hit against him on 3s.
Yep.
With rerolling 1s. So
Which is super good.
yeah, that's really great. So he was able to shoot one the first turn and then another the next turn. And then I killed the repulsor executioner with, I don't know, a bunch of random shit and it died. And my whirlwind Scorpius, like he tried to snipe out my Thunderfire cannon and failed. And then I healed it back up with my Tech Marine. And he's like, well, I won't be doing that again.
Like, no, continue.
So, yep. So that game ended on about turn 3. And we rolled out to see, like, even if he would have gotten his Wolfen into my Assault Centurions, like, while they had the +1 armor save power up and transhuman physiology and the 5-up feel no pain, like, what happens? And he kills 2. With an entire squad of 10, like 10 Wolfen.
Which, when they massacre like 50 plague bearers of mine in one turn, is just depressing.
That just tells you how freaking tough they are.
Yeah.
So, yep. So I ended up 4-1-1 and 23rd, which was great. I netted like 200 ITC points for that, which was a lot. And it put me, it catapulted me up like 250 placings because it was my 5th score, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
So that raised me up into the top 100, which I was super happy about. So I'm like 85th or something like that right now.
I'm still aiming for a 6,969th. That is my only acceptable goal this year. So it is a nice blessing.
So, and then finally, last thing about this event.
Yeah, go.
End of the event, Kyle is, Danny, all right, you got to play in my Arena of Death. And I'm like, well, what's this? He's like, all right, so.
Danny just starts whipping his dick out. He's like, okay.
I got this. And then Kyle said, no, you don't, dude. So he built this little thing for his display board for his orcs that has like, you can fight Gork or you can fight Mork. And Gork, I believe, is his warlord, like orc war boss, and Mork is his Big Mac with custom shock attack gun, the super shaka. And so I'm like, all right, let me pick the most vicious character out of my army to fight you. Oh, here's my Primaris lieutenant, because like, yeah, he's my warlord, man. So I wanted him to fight, and he fought the orc war boss, and he didn't live.
I was gonna say Marines are broken if he wins that.
No, he definitely died.
Okay, good.
But it took more than one turn of close combat
Really?
to kill him. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because he had a 5-up feel no pain, and I rolled super hot on my. I made like 6 out of 9 feel no pain.
Man, if only there was a way we could like bottle your luck with dice and kind of sell our own dice.
Well, sometimes
So
I'm
other
not so
people
lucky
can have
either.
their luck.
Yeah.
Like in maybe like a month's time when we get a dice order in that we can sell and just
Oh,
say
yeah.
that they're imbued with luck.
Well, what I can
Stop
do
telling
is
me
just,
you're unlucky with dice.
I can just spit in the bag with the dice in it. And we can shake it up real good.
Oh God, that's so gross. No,
Let's not do that.
please don't spit in the bag.
How did Dave and John go bankrupt? Well, so we ordered all these dice and Danny spit in them.
And then everybody got HPV. It was awful.
And we had to pay all their medical bills.
I'm pretty sure there's
Terrible.
only one person on the business part of this here, so Dave would not get sued for that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
So can I spit in them,
Yeah,
Dave?
go for it. Yeah. Two-thirds rule in place. So, Danny, I want to ask
Time
you
to
then.
incorporate.
So you went down to this major,
Yeah.
to this super major. You met a bunch of guys.
Oh man, I met so many people that I met online, which was really cool to put faces to names. I got like 10 friend requests out of Facebook, which was great. So
Nice. Are you planning on trying to go back next year?
yeah, I will. Although I also would like to try out Warzone Atlanta.
That was the same weekend, right? This year?
No, it's coming up.
Yeah, it's
is it
like
coming up?
in 2 weeks. I think it's every Veterans Day weekend.
Okay.
So that would be a really fun one for me to do. Plus, if I take my wife with me, she can visit her family because they live in Chattanooga, which is pretty close. Which
Wait,
would be nice.
didn't you stay with your mother-in-law?
Oh yeah, I can also stay with my family there as well. So it's like family or family, right? It just depends.
So would you recommend SoCal to?
Oh yeah, SoCal was awesome. The people were great. The venue was amazing. Like every table has 6 feet of space on every side around it. So like you can walk all the way around the table. You're not like bumping butts with everybody. As fun as that is.
I will not go to SoCal now specifically because of that.
I'd
Yeah,
love
that's
to
the reason.
get my ass rubbed.
Well, his wife's not going to touch it.
But
Somebody
anyway,
has
no,
to.
I would totally recommend it to anybody. Like just me personally, I might try something different just to try it. Like not because I didn't have a great time, because I had an absolutely awesome time. And I would recommend that tournament to anybody who was thinking about attending it. I would say just to go and to have a good time. There's all kinds of other events going on too if you're not into 40K.
Well, then my next question is: do you think your in-laws would mind it if John and I stayed with them next year, so that we can go to SoCal?
I mean, I'm sure we could talk him into it.
I don't know if I can talk my wife into letting me
Yeah,
go.
that's fair.
That's the hard part.
That's fair.
Oh no, I'm planning on pretending to kidnap you.
I mean,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'm pretty hefty though. So good luck with that. And then, well, I guess one final question for you, Danny
I would
Moore,
assume
and
that you would know about it.
maybe,
And being on it.
but you said kidnap.
Yeah, fake kidnap.
Oh, see, that's the important
Air quotes.
information you're leaving
Sorry.
out.
Yeah. You guys can't see the air quotes.
So, based on the list you were taking there, what changes would you make to it after your kind of major experience there?
Major experience.
I don't think I would right away. I think my list is really good. I think it's good against a lot of in a lot of different places. I think it's really good on the frontline terrain specifically.
Yeah.
The magic boxes are really great for Centurions. Yeah, I kind of got to dodge a lot of tough matchups. I don't know how this list still works when Imperial Fists come out. So I'll have to see how the meta kind of shapes out after chapter approved. And then I'm going to start looking at any changes I need to really make to my list to make it more competitive.
Yeah. Well, I look forward to being a beat stick for you to kind of beat on a little bit over the next couple of months here.
Me too.
Oof, I'm excited.
Also, so anybody up in the Anchorage area that wants to get in some practice games, we're looking to try to get some more in before LVO. So we
For
can
sure.
get the list tested out. We want to try to set up maybe like an actual single night over at T1 and maybe go out to MJ's and try to do like
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Where we will probably do another snake-based tournament day.
Oh,
Coming
yeah,
up
we
here
should
soon.
definitely do
but
that.
we don't
December.
have any more days
fun.
off for that.
And if you are,
Ooh, day after Thanksgiving could work.
I won't be here, but you guys can do
you're
it.
hilarious knowing my job, thinking that I'm able to get that day.
Oh,
sorry.
man, Black Friday. Yeah.
Wait, let me just let's throw that in
I
there.
completely forgot about that.
Yeah. Oof. But anyway, and then if you are not from Anchorage and you want to come and play us, don't save your money. Come meet us in Vegas. It's much funner.
Yeah.
You know what? Look up on RTT and show up for it at one of our local stores here.
Randomly, and don't tell us it's the one we
come
know.
up for a reason.
Don't go to.
Don't tell us you listen to our podcast either.
You know,
Just be that random guy.
I want to say that like Thanksgiving weekend is one of the weekends that's going to have an ITC tournament. So if you have family
It's not.
up here,
It's
and you're
not.
coming
It's
up,
the week before.
I'm trying to. So many fucking drum kits in this house.
Dude, I'm the best. I took first place at another tournament.
First off, stop with the thunder and lightning. You don't impress me. And second, let me check out the BCP rankings. And I don't see you on there.
What?
Your TO needs to download the Best Coast Pairings app and run events on it. After the event, the results are uploaded into BCP rankings, and the best part, it's easy and free.
But I play multiple game systems.
No big deal. The BCP app can be used for any game. A ton of events every weekend are using it, from major international tournaments to local stores. And now that it's available on Android devices, you're going to have some serious competition.
There can be only one.
BCP Rankings is a fun and exciting way to measure how you or your team stack up. No matter what you play, your score goes to an overall ranking, or compete to be the best in a game, a circuit, a region, or the world.
Download the app or visit www.bestcoastpairings.com for more info.
Best Coast Pairings.
Are you the best?
And we're back.
Yeah.
And we're back.
We'll never talk about SoCal again.
Oh, no, we probably will. Like I said, it looked like a great event. The photos that were shared looked great. A lot of space, a lot of great tables. And 206 players, of which almost 190 of them weren't as good as Danny.
Nice.
That's all that matters. On to other news now. We have a product to talk about. We were contacted by the creator of the MathHammer app to kind of go over his thing. Just full
the app.
The app, yeah, and his thing too. Full spoiler alert, though. This is a paid advertisement, which means we were provided free copies of the app in order to review.
Yeah, I guess it's moderately paid.
It's pretty. I think it's okay. Sorry, we can talk. We'll talk about it.
But full disclosure, John's right. We were provided.
Review copies
we
of the
didn't
app.
have to buy it for $2.99. Although I will tell
But
you,
man, what a deal for $2.99.
Well, no, see here, Danny, we didn't have to buy it for $2.99. Did we?
no, we did not.
screw you and your understanding technology.
And Dave, bless his heart, didn't know.
He tried, man.
He tried so. I'm not going to say hard because I
had
don't
my
think he did.
grandkids over. They tried it.
And yeah,
You have grandkids?
he didn't know how to. He was making a joke to make him seem older than he actually is. It's a bit we do on the show here.
Oh,
Come on, keep up, McNevitt. I know you're still whipped after your wild weekend of drinking.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, poor Dave couldn't figure out how to redeem a code on the iTunes store. So if follow him at Alpha Devil NAK on Twitter, and please, if you could just send him links on how to redeem codes in iTunes for
Yeah, that'd be great.
as long as we
Especially
joke
as
about
long as
Randall
you-
doing gangbusters, then
Yeah.
that would be hilariously fun times.
Excellent.
Oh, shit.
Excellent.
So that's never going away. All right.
No.
Anyway, so I will tell you this right now. It's $2.99, and since I actually bought it, I feel like I did not waste any money whatsoever. Like I have used it a lot doing some MathHammer stuff. In fact, I pulled it out while we were talking about SoCal and used it there to get my math numbers for Mortal Wounds.
You know what I like about the app is the fact that when I'm list building with it, I'll throw some stuff out there. Like if I have an issue where I take too much of the same thing, right? They're the same strength or what it is. So what I've been doing with it is I was just sitting there while I was crazily list building for LVO. I mean, like, hey, how will those Khorne Berserkers do against a unit of Redemptor Dreadnoughts or against a Leviathan Dreadnought? I'm being able to put in the 80 strength 4 attacks or whatever against a Leviathan only equates to 1.25 wounds. Really makes you go, oh, okay, I should probably fix that or put something else in there. So from a planning strategy for me, even list building is where I found kind of the most use out of it there.
Sure.
Danny, you're like a little mathematical genius anyway when it comes to this stuff where you kind of...
It's really cool though. Like this app will save me a lot of time actually. So I have like a spreadsheet that I use that mimics a lot of the functions that the app does. Like I can basically have like compare two different weapon stats and like compare them side by side and see which one is more efficient.
Yeah, but that's on a PC, right? You don't have that.
Right. Now I can just, first of all, I can just program the weapons in there so I don't have to reload the stats every single time.
Yeah. So talking about the actual interface here, the thing I like about it is that you can save profiles.
Yeah.
If there is a unit that you you fight a lot against, say your buddy likes to play, I don't know, Iron Hands executioners, you can just keep those stats in there. You can save it as a profile to use. Yep. You can figure out your best possible way to charge 3 of them with your plague bearers. I mean, if you'd done that, John, if you'd had this app, John, you would have had the math to know that you were making a huge mistake.
Well, the reason behind that mistake was wanting to make you roll a shitload of dice out of spite, because I had nothing that could hurt half of your army. So regardless of what this app says, I would have done it. So one thing I will say is it's nice is 69 shots. I've noticed it has a ballistic skill section, and it doesn't have a lot of other things. I've been using it a lot for close combat math as well, because really, even though it says BS and that's kind of what it's designed for, like your weapon skill is the same kind of profile. So sure. I was able to kind of just throw that in there and kind of get that part worked out too. So even though it doesn't have like a separate weapon skill, because I'm apparently the only person who plays 40k without guns,
this edition,
it works. It works really well. I'm a fan. I mean, we're gonna do a video of it, kind of show off some of the cool stuff you can do on the app. Verbally, there's not a huge amount we can say about it apart from a planning phase. Or maybe there is.
Well,
or maybe Dave finally got the dick pic I sent him.
No, that I would have been like,
it's pretty big, so it takes a long time to send the file.
I'm playing around with it, and under the attacker settings, if you go in normally, if you've used MathHammer Online, you have the options to do stuff. There is a bunch of new stuff that I've never seen on the online stuff, such as Salamander, Haywire, exploding 6s with modifiers, exploding 6s with no modifiers, adding in. So that's actually really handy.
Yep. Really makes me know when to plan to use some Veterans of the Long War in there and when
for
not
sure,
to.
right?
Yeah.
And I like the different little options, like for the defender as well. They have things like they imported all like the Iron Hand stuff too, so you can do half damage -1 for Ironstone plus the Dreadnought strat, or you can do quantum shielding as a selection too, which I really liked as really well, because that math is like one of the more difficult parts.
I'm gonna tell you right now, this is amazing actually, now that seeing that stuff in there, the functionality of it, because while I've been playing around with it, I usually haven't looked that far into it, and I gotta tell you, I'm thinking about buying it again.
I mean, well, we understand your understanding of technology isn't great at this point, but when you own it, you own it, so you don't have to buy it again.
I probably will accidentally, the next time.
Probably, just swipe it through.
Yeah. Just keep it a subscription.
A subscription service. Like I said, I'm a fan. I use it in the planning phase. I'm not fast enough at it yet to kind of do it in game at this point, but really it helps me figure out weaknesses of my list before playing.
Sure, and I think you can preload some of the stuff. Like what you should do is preload the weapons from your army, like maybe, and then you can just punch in defender profiles and be like, all right, well, what is my chances of doing this? Like maybe while your opponent is taking their turn. So it'll help you to decide like what the best chances are for you to like deal with a particular unit.
Well, if you look at the
and ahead of time, of course, that's really great too.
So if you click the load button at the top after you get it, you can actually see there are 5 profiles already preloaded in there: Guardsman, Knight, Marine, Primaris Marine, and generic vehicle, T7 vehicle, 10 wounds.
Nice.
So that's already preloaded for you. You just got to click the little download button.
Now I will say it does not let you do more than 1,000 shots, which seems like an oversight for orc armies and such. So, but I will also say that 999 bolter shots will do 65 wounds to a dreadnought, to a Leviathan dreadnought.
Nice.
Is that with all of the Leviathan special saves?
Yes.
Is that with Corn Berserker extra +1 strength stuff? And then things
That
like
includes
Chain
rerolls. The total hits is 777, which includes 111 for rerolls because you got to keep them in that bubble. 129 wounds, 64 unsaved wounds for 4 dead Leviathans because obviously it's a unit. Wow. But like that's a nice thing because it lets you kind of do units. You can set up your different profiles, and again, just kind of makes you a little bit of a better player and take some of that really hard math out of the hex. I know there's a lot of times where I'm like, hey, Danny, what will this unit do to this unit? You're like, no, great.
That's true.
Whereas now you can kind of really break it down, and I don't feel like I'm asking this massive math equation. I sort of balked at the $3 price point when I originally heard. I'm like, oh, shit. I don't like paying $3 for that, but if you look at the sheer amount of different math that goes in there,
it's pretty impressive.
I paid for way more in other stuff than that.
And the fact that since we've looked at it, it's been updated to include other stuff in there.
Yep.
Yeah, like when we first got it and looked at it, it did not have that stuff in there.
So yeah, horrible shill time. We are mostly positive people, but if you want to up your game a little bit without playing the game, if you're making lists for events, MathHammer some stuff in there. If you want to figure out what's going to be your best target, put a repulsor in there, put some centurions in there, put some things you know are in your local meta,
right? And
then that way at the table you can target prioritize like a champ.
Yeah. And know what in your army is good against what else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can get out there and you can download a sound clip and play it every time you whip out the app.
MathHammered.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah. That sound clip actually will be uploaded to our Patreon and available for download. So you can actually
make
just
it your ringtone.
Make it your message tone. We'll give you Dave's phone number if you make that your message tone.
It's not that difficult. It's 1.
Oh, because you're old.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have that lined up. Anyway, we've kept you guys for a long time. We're gonna wrap it up here.
It's like Tuesday now, isn't it?
It's like what?
Well, because we've kept them a long time. It's already Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I'm very tired. I'm going to go do things. Dave's going to go do things. We're all
Dave's going to sleep.
Paint some stuff purple. And that's
yeah.
We're all going to paint stuff purple. But yeah, for Mob Rules, I've been John.
I've been Dave.
And I've been Danny.